Hey, what's up? I see my mom's in the house. What's up? If you are on the Experience channel, go to the description, click the link, and go over to Vibin in the D because that's where the show will be. Okay? So let's get started. With Lily.
Talking to the diamonds of Detroit today. Vibing in the D with Lily.
With Lily.
Talking to the diamonds of Detroit today. Vibing in the D with Lily. Talking to the diamonds of Detroit today. Vibing in the D
With Lily. What up, people? Look, it's been a long time. I don't even remember the last episode was Super DJ Superhero. I believe he was the last episode. And that was a great episode. That was the end of season 3. This is now season 4. I don't even know if I'm gonna put it as season all that stuff like that. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad for what's to come. Got some great stuff coming down the pipeline. Great people that I'm gonna be talking to. So I hope that you all will be on this journey with me. Um, Again, if you are on the Experience YouTube channel, please click the link in the description and go over to Vibin in the D. And if you haven't subscribed to Vibin in the D, make sure you do, please. I would appreciate that so very much. Please go over to Vibin in the D because this will not continue on the Experience channel. I will be turning it off very shortly. But I just wanted to get everybody, if somebody does tune in on Experience, to go over to Vibin in the D. Now, Vibin in the D, just a little recap. I started this podcast on anchor.com. It was an audio podcast. My first guest was Angela Davis, and I've had plenty of guests on there. Like if you I should have put the link to that, but we'll get all that together. Talked to several people, artists, singers, business owners, uh, authors, poets. It's been a fun time. It's been a really fun time. I wanted to start a podcast because I noticed I was always going around to different places, whether it was a poetry venue, uh, place where people were doing live music or anything of that nature. And I just love that stuff. I love it. I was following it around. I'm like, I would just be amazed, like how I would just learning about people. I was just learning about different musicians and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, if I don't know, other people might not know either. So I wanted to share that with whoever would tune in. What's up, Jennifer J? What's up, Upside Down Simone is here. Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure that you are tuning in on Vibing in the D because if you're watching on Experience, it will self destruct very shortly. It will be gone. It will stop abruptly. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I've sent out, emails to people. I sent out emails to people. I'm like, they ain't gonna email me back. And shockingly, a couple of them did so far. But some of them I'm like, oh no, they too out there, they too big time, they might not, but you never know. You never know. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that everyone that I reach out to responds, even all the way to Stephanie Mills. Huh? If I could have Stephanie Mills on my show, huh? Are you on my Experience channel, Mom? If you are, in the description, there's a link to the video on Vibing in the D. It's showing on both channels right now, just in case people forgot to go over to Vibing in the D. So if it's the link is in the description of the video, if you're on the Experience channel, click that link and it'll take you over to Vibing in the D. Thank you. But today I have DJ L Boog. I met DJ L Boog at a function. It was for Kiera Berry. She has and she'll be on here as well. Oh man, that baby can put together some wigs out of this world. I mean, she is good with the hair. You understand? But she was having a fundraiser type thing to get situated because she was opening her shop in Highland Park. And we were having a great time. People were performing, and there were people there dedicating stuff to her. So and her shop has been up and running since then, even through the COVIDs. So I do want to have her on here. What's up, Chavez? What's up, sister? Sister. I ain't got no sense. But yeah, again, if you're on the Experience channel, let me see, let me put this, maybe I can put this up here. If you are watching this on the Experience, ooh, I can't spell, channel, click the link in the description and come on over to Vibin in the D. Okay, there you go. I don't have no sense, like for real. I really don't. There it is. Whoop, there it is. All right, so what's up, Metro Lady 72? What's for dinner? Hey, I don't even know. Leftovers. 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 I need to go to the barber, people, but I ain't gonna worry about it right now. I'm not gonna worry about it. Me and my hair are having a little conversation, and we'll be all right. We'll be all right. My shirt says RIP, but that stands for research it, please, because y'all always posting stuff on the interwebs that ain't true. How about that? What's up, Michelle? Ain't nothing to trim. Ain't not. No, no, no. See, you will have a stripe down my head and be laughing. No, no. Or some kind of weird design. I can feel it in my bones. Feel it in my bones. So look, y'all. What type of folks would y'all like to see on Vibing in the D? I'm already invited my sister. She's a realtor. And she's a darn good realtor, huh? She's an excellent realtor. She's so good. I done bought about 3 houses from her in my mind, because my pockets don't match my mind at the moment. Maybe she'll be the one to find the building or the area for the storage facility for the family. Who crazy, me or Melissa? Because that's probably true for both of us. Uh, Oh man, so again, as it's stating at the bottom of the screen, if you are watching this on the Experience channel, click the link in the description and come on over to Vibin in the D, because this is going to self-destruct very, very soon. My guest should be here shortly, and when he pops in, the Experience channel is going shut down. Yeah, we crazy. We both crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have my sister on. She. Oh, my guest just popped in, so that means it's time to cut it off on the Experience channel. And you ready, Boog? Shake your head if you're ready. You ready? Okay. So I would like to introduce to my people that's watching DJ L Boog, the founder and creator of Groove Radio Detroit, an online radio station for you and me. What up? What up?
Yo, what
How
up?
you doing? How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good.
That's good. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let me just get this here. There we go. So
Hey, we official.
we are official. Welcome to Vibin in the D. I know you're not unfamiliar with it. You have been on a couple of segments when we had the forum.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. That was fun. Got to do that again.
Oh yeah, that relationship joint was on point.
Yeah, it was. The residuals of it was interesting as well. It
Yep.
was. So let me disconnect this here. Do, 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 do. I'm removing it. Okay. All right. So if you were on the experience channel, you have been disconnected.
Out
So I gotta
of
see
there.
that.
Out of there.
Huh? So what's been going on with you?
Man, nothing much.
Tell us who you are and tell us what you're about.
All right, so for everybody that's tuning in, some of you may know me, some of you may not. Um, my name is Boog, also known as DJ L Boog. I've been a DJ for over 20 years now. But it's been my full-time profession for almost 9 years.
Wow.
No, I take that back. 14 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I started DJing full-time in 2008.
Wow. Okay.
So it's been a journey. It's been fun. It's been great to be able to do what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? And be able to do it for a living,
Yeah.
make a
Yeah.
little change.
Right.
I've met a lot of people, connected with a lot of people. At one time, I used to do a open mic event
Mm-hmm.
called Open Mic Jam. We did that. I did that for 7 years. Connected with a lot of artists.
I bet.
Um, yeah, just I've been connected to so many people in Detroit just from me DJing and through doing events or whatever. Like I've enjoyed, you know what I'm saying, all the connections that I've made, you know what I'm saying, over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept thinking about, like, do I want to get back into doing events again?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Things have changed in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm a daddy now. Just got married.
Look at you. Look at you.
I'm like, do I really have the time
Right.
to do events? For people that do events, they know that, you know what I'm saying, it's not easy. It take quite a bit.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a team, it can really be hard. A lot of people be doing that joint solo.
Right.
And I ain't in a place where I could just put an event together and do it solo no more. You know what I'm saying? And, I had built a team, but then all of us got, busy. So it was just like, well, I'm gonna have to come up with something else.
Right.
And so that something else turned into Groove Radio Detroit.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
It gave me another chance to still provide an outlet, for artists to get their music heard. Now, getting their music heard and getting their video seen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been, focusing on. Just started back podcasting.
Yeah.
That I had started during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so just getting back to that, you know what I'm saying? The world is open, but it's not really open.
Okay. Say that. Say that again. It ain't really open.
Right. It's open, but it's not really,
Right.
And so just making adjustments to that when it comes to doing events and stuff, and being able to do internet radio has like created another lane, another door for me to still do what I do and
Right.
look out for folks.
So with let's go back to the pandemic. You got married
Hmm.
during the pandemic. What was that like?
During the pandemic, it actually ended up being the best decision that we made.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we thought about delaying the wedding, you know, um, but then it was like, why are we delaying it?
Right.
Like we know we love each other. We want to, be together. We want to be married. So we're waiting because for people
Right, right,
who not in the relationship,
right.
who not
Okay.
who not gonna be living with us, who ain't paying bills. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't got nothing to do with it.
So it was like, we wanted our families to be involved and our friends and all that stuff, and then it was just like, I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen with the pandemic, and I mean, we got time to get with family and friends and all that stuff at some point in the future.
Right.
So we was like, we're just gonna go ahead and stick with our, the date that we had set, which was in May of 2020. Um, and we was like, we're gonna go ahead and do it. And so literally maybe a month before the wedding,
Mm-hmm.
um, we came up with the idea to stream it live.
That was nice. It was nice.
And so we ended up going ahead and do that, and it ended up being like the best thing we did. All the people who, it was already a struggle in the planning process trying to figure out who we was going to be able to invite or whatever. We was like, we weren't going to be able to invite everybody because of the, you
Social
know,
distancing and all of that.
that. Well, even before it got to that, in our initial planning, there was no pandemic, so we was trying to decide who we was going to invite to the ceremony, and then
Okay.
because we had, a limited amount of people that we was going to be able to have at the ceremony, but we was going to try to have everybody just come to the reception.
Right.
So, that was already like, man, all right, like who we actually gonna have come to the ceremony. So we trying to figure out who the most important, like, and then it's really crazy because my family is a lot bigger than hers.
Okay.
So it was like, all right, who in my family am I actually gonna be able to have at the ceremony and not worry about people who not at the ceremony feeling like they excluded and
Right.
I wanted to be at the ceremony and like people can be kind of crazy about weddings. And so
Yeah.
when the pandemic hit, we was thinking about like, man, we should postpone it because we was gonna postpone it until because we actually had came up with a secondary date from the beginning because it was like we either gonna do May. If we don't do May, we're gonna do October. And
Mm-hmm.
when the pandemic hit, we was like, maybe we can still just do the October date because maybe things would be straight by the end or whatever. But just seeing how things just spread and like it got crazy, and we were just
It
like,
got crazy. It does. Yes.
nah, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and keep our date. And so, literally a month before that, we were just we was talking to one of her friends, and somebody was asking us was like, well, I see y'all, y'all since y'all still getting married, are y'all gonna stream it? And we was like, hmm. I was like, that is a good idea. So at first we was only gonna do Zoom just so all the family
Right.
would, what I'm saying, tune in. And then it turned into, like, you know what? Like we might as well just stream it live. We can stream it live on Instagram and Facebook.
Hey, it was nice though. It was
And we
nice.
ended up streaming it to YouTube as well for
Oh, did
our,
you?
yeah, we ended up using her YouTube channel so family members who weren't as technologically advanced,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, the older relatives, it was like, well, can you give us a link that all we got to do is just press it and
Right.
like, so that's why we did the YouTube thing because they ain't had no Facebook account, no Instagram account, what
Okay.
I'm saying, to be logging in and trying to figure all that out. So
That's
um
cool.
So yeah, so it ended up being amazing. I think we had um literally it might have been close to 1,000 people
Wow.
that ended up watching the stream.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so it was dope. It ended up being beyond what we thought, what I'm saying, it would be or whatever. A lot of people, the coolest thing about it was once we decided to do it and people was asking, they started asking about our colors and all this stuff. We was like, we told them our colors, and then it was like it'd be cool if y'all would just dress up too, like y'all there with us, and then send us the pictures. So we had people that
Oh
was
wow.
yeah, so we had people sending us pictures and video, what I'm saying, of them while they was actually watching during the stream.
That's
So
nice.
yeah, so it ended up being like super, super cool, what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
experience that too. What I'm saying, people at the crib, like we at the crib, but we dressed up like we there, like and I'm talking about like some people went all out. They was like
Wow.
suited and booted.
That's nice. That's so nice.
Yeah. So it was dope.
So Groove Radio Detroit. What made you go toward the online radio, and what was it like getting that started? Because it's you've been doing that for what, a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's been about 2 years.
What was it like
About
getting that
2 years.
started, for anybody out there that might be interested in doing something like that?
Um, well, I had always wanted to do radio in some way, and
Hmm.
so prior to starting the radio station, like I had been on other internet radio stations to DJ for, excuse me, for different shows. I done like live mixes. I done sent in recorded mixes, so people to showcase my mixes or whatever.
Right.
Um, and I was just like, so I tried to do traditional radio. I did, some auditions and stuff, and sending in um, mixes to be considered or whatever. And that ain't really work out. And it's crazy because my homies that are on radio and has been on radio for a while was like, don't do it. It ain't worth it now. And they was
Wow.
telling me like, had I got into radio, back in the day, it would have been a little bit easier to get in, and things would have been a little smoother or whatever. And so
Yeah.
I was like, well, all right, so traditional radio ain't gonna work. Let me see about internet radio. So I knew some folks that, with me being on other people's stations, I was like, let me see what's behind it to see if it's really something that I can do.
Hmm.
So I just did some research, and what I ended up doing first was using the Mixcloud platform. Once I
Right.
really started using that, and with the pandemic hitting, then it was like, okay, well, how I wanted to format things anyway, let me just do that on the Mixcloud platform, especially since the artists are actually able to get royalties for their music being played
That's awesome.
and streamed on that platform. So that's how I started it, just to, so people music could be out there, um, and then it just kind of like grew from there. A lot of people was filling in or whatever, and I was just like, but I really wanted to get it to the point where music is playing like all the time. And so as I was still researching and getting the station and seeing what I need to do as far as the server and programming and all that stuff, a couple friends ended up giving me some good info, and I went on ahead and got it going to get the server built up. So it took a while because you gotta get all the music on the server. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm still mastering just the programming of it, so I can program if I want a different genre set for one day, or all that stuff. So I mean, it's still a process, but it's dope that on the radio server we got music playing 24/7.
That's
You know what I'm
awesome.
saying? So I'm like halfway through the music that I really wanted to add. I'm still adding stuff. And so, people dropping music like all the time. So I think that's really like the only thing that's challenging is just making sure when somebody music drop, let me get it on the station,
Right.
quick or whatever, so you can start getting them plays. Um, so
Do you I know you play a variety of music, but is it basically Detroit artists?
the majority of the music right now is Detroit artists. But all of the artists on the station, well, the majority of them are all independent,
Okay.
with the exception of some of the bigger name artists from Detroit that are
Hmm.
actually like major. Like I got some Eminem on the station, I got Big Sean on the station, I got
Okay.
some Royce on the station, Trick, Dage Loaf or whatever. So I'm really trying to make sure that I'm still all the Detroit artists, whether they major or indie or
Or not?
whatever,
Yeah.
that they own the station,
Okay.
so we can hear our own artists on a regular basis. But I also got other indie artists, from other places, that's on there too. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's what's up. So what was you recently had because you reached out to me. Was that when you got your server going or
Actually, when I reached out to you, this was before the server was finished.
okay.
Yep. And so it was really just me wanting to have more content and add really have variety to offer to people when they came to the streaming channel.
Okay.
So that's where you came in, Jervis Canty,
Right.
my homie Ron Dance with his show, the Ron Dance Show, and some of the other podcasts that are on the station right now. And then one of the other cool things that happened is just me collaborating with other people. And so
Yeah.
um, I'm, I also engineer podcasts for an actual podcast network. And so me and the guy, we've known each other for a while. And so we decided to collaborate and, kind of do some things together. So now it's a nice amount of his shows from his podcast network that's
Well, that's
also
good.
running on Groove Radio Detroit as well. So
Yeah.
it's been dope.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, I thank you for reaching out to me. And it's nice to have to be able to be streaming somewhere else as well. Because it's been interesting doing this.
It
This
is. This is not for the faint of heart.
It's not. It is not. And I had to take a hiatus because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on here? And it's a different animal. It's different.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was doing it on, when it was audio only, it was cool. And then we had that wonderful pandemic that broke out. Because I would like get together with people, if I didn't think they was crazy, they could come over my house.
Right, right.
Or I would go to their office, studio, whatever the case may be. I had my little lapel mics and all that stuff, and it was fun. And then the pandemic hit, so this whole virtual thing blew up. Which I like it because you could be anywhere and enjoying the show.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
and then, my show was based on Detroit artists, although I do reach out to people who are not necessarily in Detroit. If I
Right.
run across somebody on TikTok or something and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, you are amazing." I want to have them on. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just how I am. But yeah, it had gotten to be a little interesting reaching out to the folks in the locals,
mm.
got a little interesting. So, you know,
I mean, it's
it,
you make do with what you can make do with. You
that's
know what I'm
it.
saying?
That's it.
People either gonna want to be on the show or they not. Stuff like that comes with the territory.
It is what it
Um,
is.
yeah, I don't even sweat stuff like that. I know
So,
some people can be funny style in a sense.
yeah,
But I'm just like, all right, no big deal. If you don't feel like my platform big enough, or I got a big enough name, or whatever your reasoning
But
for not
don't
wanting.
tell people that you're gonna do it and then you don't do it.
Oh, well, people do that. People do that in all facets of life. You know what I'm saying?
They do, but don't do me like that. Don't have me set up my time for you. Don't have me set my time up for you in my space, and then you don't even show up.
Right, right.
You know, I didn't have that happen a couple of times, or somebody tell me right at the last minute, "Oh, I'm not gonna be able to be on." I'm like, "What? Okay."
Yeah, after you didn't promote it, that they're gonna be
Oh
there.
man, that part is crazy. You go to promoting something and then the person don't show up, and then people are like, "Well, what happened to so and so?" Or you sitting there, and it's just me, but
Right, right.
it happens. I've experienced enough to be prepared for it now. So
Yeah, I don't even sweat it.
yeah,
I had to deal with it a lot when I was doing events.
yeah.
And I would be like,
Ooh,
hey, such and such not gonna be able to be here. I'll just throw a post up real quick, like, unfortunately, such and such ain't gonna be here. But and then let them know if somebody replacing them, or if we got something else
right.
going on or whatever. So I just it is what it is.
Mhm. Man, so what's your favorite thing about DJing, and what's your least favorite thing?
um, my favorite thing about DJing is the people.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also my least favorite.
Ah, I want to say Keith might have said something like that too.
It's like, man, it's almost like the perfect storm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like great, everybody jamming. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? When people having fun, it's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And it could be awesome because people be turning up with you. You know what I'm saying? And then you got those people that who will be there. They'll be guests, but they'll be trying to tell you what to do, like it's their party and it ain't their party.
Mm-hmm.
Or the people who don't actually be out there party, and they want to come and try to tell you what songs to play, or hey, can you play this? Can you play that? Can you play this? Can you play that? Like, if you don't get your tail out there and party with everybody else out there dancing, having a good time, you over here trying to figure out what's playing next and play this, and you need to play
Give
this because
DJ a
this
break.
yo, it'd be the funniest thing when people be like, "Hey, I'm telling you right now, put this on. The room about to go crazy." Like, no, you the only one that's about to go crazy.
Have
You-
you ever fallen for that, like back in the day or something like
Oh,
that?
I've done it in the past, and what I started doing after a couple of my OGs was like, "Yo, this what you do." You know what I'm saying? You already know what's up if you play this song, but you know what I'm saying? Instead of letting it be where you just look totally bad, like you can't DJ and mess around and miss out on new clients or whatever,
Right.
get on the microphone and be like, "Yo, this song was requested by such and such, or this is by request or whatever," so they'll know, like, you
Yeah.
ain't just throw this song on, you know what I'm saying, to tear the club up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's what I started doing. So some folks, you know what I'm saying, they be swearing like, "Yeah, we about to watch this. I'm trying to tell you, put this song on. They about to go crazy." And they be the only one on the floor going crazy. And
That is
sometimes
so
they act,
funny.
yeah, and sometimes they ask for the song, and then they don't even get their tail out on the floor and dance. They
Come
just
on
want,
now.
they just want to hear it. They go to their chair, sitting there. They like, "Yeah, y'all hear this?" And be like, "What?"
Wow.
Switch, switch it right back
Okay.
to the next song.
Oh man. Okay, so which version of Donnell Jones, you know what's up, do you play?
Mm, I play the version with him and Left Eye, but I'm because of most of the gigs that I do, I'm always playing the clean version of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
They don't have no clean version with Left Eye?
yeah, that's the version I play.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, if the DJ play that song and I don't hear her say "What up," I'll be like, never mind.
Yeah, because they do that. They do got the version that she's not on,
Right, and
and they started playing. I remember when they was playing that on 92.3,
yeah,
and I used to be like, man, why y'all playing this joint
I,
without?
I would turn it off immediately. I'll be like, nah, I'm good. And I'll go listen to it on my own radio system. Shoot.
Right, right.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So what type of venues do you enjoy the most?
Mm, I guess probably like wedding venues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a little more organized and structured. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of know what you're getting. Most
Right.
most wedding venues pretty much operate the same, and so you typically end up having the amount of space that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even though sometimes the drawback to some of these wedding venues are they don't be having enough power sources sometimes, or they
Really?
be having power sources in like the weirdest places, and like I've done some venues and they'll be like, yeah, this the spot for where the DJ gonna be at,
Ain't no
and it
plug.
don't be no plugs anywhere near. I got to run a cord from almost halfway across the room or something random, or all the
Oh.
way in all the way from a corner somewhere. So now I got to do extra work because I got to run it from a different spot. You know what I'm saying? And I got to make sure I tape it down so nobody won't be, you know, because people always, I don't know what it is. People will step on stuff, trip on
They
stuff,
sure will.
and will tear the club up, and you be like,
Literally. When I first watched a DJ set up and then break everything down, I was like, goodness gracious. That has to I mean, and then you think about it like going farther than that, like people that set up stages and stuff for concerts and whatnot. And I'm like,
man,
they
that junk
be
ain't no,
there all day and night.
yeah, that junk ain't no joke. People don't even understand, like, especially when they do concerts, because most of those setups are done like a day or two before.
I
And it's
couldn't.
like it's an all day thing. We talking about cruise, and I've been on cruise where we was doing setups for stage and for sound or whatever, and having to be there all day. You know what I'm saying, for
Mm,
setup, like literally be 12 hours before,
wow.
you know what I'm saying, the event even started. You know what I'm saying, and it's crazy because then whatever the concert is, it only lasts this amount of time,
Right, but it take
and
longer
it's
to
over
set
with.
up and
And now you there all night after the event is over. Most crews start like that night, or it could be one of those things, especially for like when they do concerts. Sometimes they don't even start that night after the concert over. They start early that next morning. It'd be like 6, 7 in the morning. Crews coming in to start tearing stuff down and
wow.
breaking down or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That tripped me out because when I used to do an open mic at Good Cakes and Bakes,
Mm.
and the Super DJ Superhero was the DJ, and I used to be like, every time I turn around, I'm like, what you bringing in now? What you bringing in now? And then when it was at the end, it was like, what you? Oh my goodness! And it was just so much stuff, and I'm like, it wasn't even no crates or records. I can't even imagine the crates.
Oh man, when it back in the day with add the crates to it, it was, man, setup time used to be, depending on how many crates you had, you get your setup time was like an hour and a half, 2 hours just to set up, you know what I'm saying, and get everything in and set up just to get started, do the party, and then at the end of the night, having to break down. Like the breakdown and tear down and stuff be a little faster, but it's still like at the end of the night, you gotta.
It's still a lot. You wrapping up cords and Oh man, I was just like, oh no, because somebody was like, well, somebody was telling me you should get into DJing, music, and you really into music, and I saw that, I was like, oh no, that ain't me, bro. I write
Yeah,
about
that's
it or
the
something. I've cracked a couple of jokes about it. I ain't.
yeah, that's the that is the unpretty part. You know what I'm saying, of DJing that people they don't know about for real. They don't see just the setup. The other unpretty part of it is they don't see what we do at the crib before we even get to the event. You know what I'm saying? People have this misconception that every DJ, we just got all the music in the world. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
So, like certain events, do people sometimes set up like a playlist with you?
Yeah, sometimes. Well, for me, mainly, I deal with that mainly now through weddings. You know what I'm saying? People have the bride and groom may have a certain vibe they want to have for their wedding or whatever, and so you'll get playlists. I mean, some people do it for other type of functions or whatever, but mainly weddings and like corporate events is where I usually will get, like this is what we want to hear, or this is what you can play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got some people that hit you with this is the do not playlist. You can play
Ah,
everything except this.
right.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's always different depending on the type of, event that it is or the type of client or whatever.
Wow.
Some people will be like, man, just do you. You know what I'm saying? Which
Right.
kind of be cool, especially for the ones if you're dealing with somebody that's already experienced you as a DJ, and so they just like I already know how you get down,
Do your
do your
thing.
thing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Wow.
Then you got the ones that be like, I need it to be like this, play this song here, this, and you be like, oh, okay. Like, all right.
Oh, got you on a string.
Yeah. So I mean, it's always pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
The getting a playlist from somebody. Like sometimes you'll ask somebody for a playlist because you want to get an idea of what they like. You know what I'm saying, and how you
Yeah.
could like, do your set or whatever. And some people like that can turn into they sending you a list of like 400 songs, and you be like,
Woo!
sir, ma'am, you is not gonna listen to 400 songs in this 4-5
Right.
hours. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
Wow.
so it'd be crazy when I be telling my wife and I be showing her stuff when I book with clients, and I'd be like, look, I was like, I want you to look at this list of music that this lady gave me. I want you to know that her this lady's party is 3 hours. If she
Mm-hmm.
sent me a list for music, that's about 13 hours worth of music.
Stop it.
And I gotta sift through this playlist.
Get the 3 hours worth out of there.
Like, man, so it'd be crazy sometimes with that, because then, you know, that's really when I be at the event and people will be coming up like, yeah, can I request a song? And I'll be turning them down. Like, no, I was like, the bride and groom or whoever the client is, they got me playing all this music. Ain't no room for no requests.
Can't. I cannot.
So, just the
I don't think
preparation.
people be thinking about all of that stuff,
No, they don't. I mean, it's not really if you never experienced it, if you don't know somebody that's a DJ, if you've never really been a part of that process, you ain't gonna think about that. The average person ain't thinking about that. They just want to hear the song that they want to hear. You know what
Man.
I'm saying? And so, sometimes I get it, it's like, oh, okay. But I'd be like, you have no idea how long I sat in front of my computer or how many hours, what I'm saying, I spent, what I'm saying, setting up, just to get ready for this event. You know what I'm saying?
You know what bugs me? How people have asked me this before. They be like, "Don't you know some DJs? I got an event coming up, and somebody that'll." And then they literally are looking for y'all to do it for free. I'm like, they're not gonna do that for free, huh? You better go to the dollar store and get you some turntables or something, because I don't understand that. And people, it's not just somebody throwing some music on. It's a
Right.
whole little production. So it don't need to be free or discounted or hey, can you take half off of that cost? No.
Yeah, I get all type of folks, you know what I'm saying, asking for the hookup. Can't do nothing for you.
Asking for a hookup is not support. Just
I
want to
know.
let y'all know that out there.
Yep.
Everybody that's watching this, share it with your cousin. This part right here. It is not supporting a business, because that's what it is. It's a business. If you asking for a hookup or a discount, or for them to just do it for free, it is not
Mhm.
support. Okay, just remember that.
Yeah.
Mm.
This the other thing they need to remember.
Hmm.
This the other thing they need to remember. Y'all need to keep it 100 when y'all, go to these DJs that y'all want to DJ for y'all. If you know your pockets is funny, you need to be straight up and be like, hey, this is what I can afford. So then me as the DJ or that person as the DJ can decide whether or not they want to do it for that price. You know what I'm saying? And if they can't, you need to be understanding. Like, okay, I get it.
That's right.
Can you refer somebody to me that can work with this price?
Yep, my son. He's 4 years old. He can turn on his laptop and play y'all some songs. Can you afford that? That's right, mom. The people need to know what go on behind the scenes, because people don't think about that stuff. But I mean, it's been so many times where a person has asked me, because they see I know some people. I don't know everybody, but and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I ain't no. You ain't about to. I know you. You ain't about to do that to them. Huh?
Right.
No. So
I'm cool. If somebody refer me, I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? If you hit me with the what's my fee, what's my price, and I'm gonna just give you that, and that be that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even worry about it, and I already know, depending on the response, you know what I'm saying, where you at with it. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And they be like, oh, okay.
Because the natural response that I get is, oh, okay, let me check with my fiance, or let me check with my wife, husband, or whatever. Or
Right.
let me get back to you. I'll let you know by the end of the day. And then they be ghosts.
Because if somebody gonna do something, they just gonna do it. They just gonna do it.
Yeah.
But when that's happened to me before, because I, do the promos and stuff. And I remember this. I will never forget this for the rest of my life. Somebody they text me, and they asked me if I would do a promo for them and with my voice.
Mm.
Um, I got asthma in my history, so you're gonna have to pay for my voice. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them the price, and they're like, for you to say this on that. And I was like, you're darn right.
Yeah,
I said, I'm actually giving you a less amount than I should be.
people don't understand that part either. They don't understand the recording process. You know what I'm saying?
Man, how
You
many
maybe,
times you
and
gotta
you
do
probably
that?
having to redo a take multiple times to make sure that it's right. You know what I'm saying, for them as the client. The editing part after you record it. You know what I'm
The
saying?
whole shebang. It's like this is my time that you're
They they think you just about to just be on there real quick, them 2 minutes, and then you done type thing. And it's like, nah, that ain't how that works.
Sometimes that stuff take time. So it's been times I be in here trying to do a voiceover. I done wrote down what I'm gonna say, and I'm practicing it, and like I about 15 takes later, I'm like, this getting on my nerves. You know, not do it again, and but people don't think about that. The other thing with DJs, so you got a gig that you're doing, and it's 4 hours. You're standing there for 4 hours.
Yep.
You standing there for 4. They ain't even give you a fatigue mat, an anti-fatigue mat to stand on. They got you on the hard floor in a venue for 4 hours. That alone, you should not be trying to penny pinch nothing. Okay.
Listen, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Ankles be all swole up.
That's why the type of shoes I wear is important at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first started DJing, I never really paid attention to that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really think about it. Then you had those events, you standing up for 5 hours, and at the end of the night, like you doing all this moving, you know what I'm saying, packing up your stuff, and then you finally get to where you're like, oh snap, like why am I sore?
Yep. You gotta protect the feet, because hey, you standing on them all day, that starts shooting up to your joints and everything else.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
DJs, I be telling my homies now, I'm like, man, you got to make sure you have good posture and everything, because DJs be leaning over all the time. You leaning over because you're trying to be, pick your song on the laptop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you one of the people that's really active with scratching or whatever, you hunched up and bent over and just all type of stuff.
Your body mechanics got to be on point.
Man, like for real.
Man. Well, y'all get a DJs a break and treat them right, okay? Treat them right.
And make sure you look out for your DJs when you have them do your events. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't have to look for you to get some food or some water or something. You know what I'm saying?
Keep them hydrated and keep their brain flowing with some snacks and food and stuff. Don't think they're gonna stand up there for 5 hours and just be parched. Come on now.
Like I'd be like, man, they just be leaving the DJs hanging sometimes.
Man, that ain't right. That ain't right. So what is in store? What you got going on coming up for Groove Radio Detroit?
Well, right now, what I'm focusing on is being able to get everybody on the station monetized, so they can make money for what they're doing, because everybody really is doing their own production, whether you doing it at home or where you actually being at a studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you recording or whether you actually going live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to understand, like, you actually putting work into what you're doing. Like, to the research people that you are interviewing and stuff like that. Just the time that you got to take out of your day. If you're doing your own promo, if you're doing your own flyers, you're doing your own whatever. Like that stuff takes time and it takes money.
It does.
And people don't really think about that.
Yeah.
And so I think it's one of the things about the pandemic that I think was great is that it allowed people to see there's other ways for them to actually, make a little change. You know what I'm saying? It may not be big change at first, but it can turn into that if you keep, building and you stay consistent with what you're doing. Because really with podcasting, and anybody that do anything when it comes to streaming now, it's just about being consistent. The people on YouTube that blow up and end up, being able to monetize their YouTube channel is because of consistency.
Constantly uploading.
They have consistent content. You know what I'm saying? So people keep coming back to their channel, and they send other people to their channel and stuff like that. So it's the same thing with podcasts. The people whose podcasts are popular, the people keep going to Apple or Spotify or whatever to listen to their podcast, and they share it and all type. So on top of them being consistent, they have what people consider to be good content. So
Right.
focusing on just having good content, um, and being consistent, so you can get that money coming in.
That's right. That's
So
right.
it's a bunch of different ways to do it. So that's what I'm focusing on now, for the station and everybody that's involved with the station, is getting us all this money.
That's
So
what's
20,
up.
2022, I'm trying taking it up a level. You know what I'm saying?
I might be able to get my knees done after all, huh?
Yeah, if you need something done, you need your knees done, your hips done, back done, whatever you need. You know
Right.
what I'm
Get that
saying?
done.
You're gonna get that extra change so you can knock that on out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
so the other next step is to, um, lock down a building.
Okay.
Um, and so to have a full studio. So to be, the radio side and the streaming side. So whatever building I'm don't act I'm about to start looking for buildings starting in November, actively really like getting after it. I found a couple office spaces, but then I was like, nah, I would rather have my own building so I
Right.
can shape it the way I want it to be.
Yeah.
Because I got different ideas for how I want to do the streaming. And the radio side is a little bit simpler, just about having the studio so people can actually just be able to come in and do their thing. You know what I'm
That's what's
saying?
up. That's what's up. Well, you gonna do all of that. I see it. I
Yeah.
see it. And
So
then
it's about to go down.
that's what's up.
That's what I'm focusing on. That's the phase moving into, just really getting after that. You know what I'm saying? And growing the station to bring up the viewers and listeners.
Yeah. Well, keep being consistent. You've been doing a great job, and it's on and popping. Yeah,
Oh
you a little late, sis, but it's okay.
yeah.
It's okay. It's all right.
The good
Um,
thing is you can go back and watch it again.
that's right. Replays are the bomb. Replays are the
Yeah,
bomb. You can
absolutely.
do it in your leisure, you know. But yeah, so I appreciate you coming on, and I'll be talking to you because I'll be getting stuff to you for the shows that I have. And everybody, Groove Radio Detroit, Vibin in the D is on Groove Radio Detroit on Fridays.
Yeah.
So
So make
yeah,
sure y'all stay tapped in, support Vibing in the D. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she need, y'all need to be hooking her up.
and
Soaking
if you
feeds.
need somebody to help you find a building,
Oh yeah, she said I should say the realtor. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's my mom talking about my sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's an excellent realtor.
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll get you her information.
Cool.
And well yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. And don't stop.
No, I'm glad you're down. We gonna do some things. I like this show, so I was glad
Thank
when
you.
you was like, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm like,
I
yes.
was so nervous because the job that I took, I'm like, they really had a sister like, oh yeah, you gonna be working the night shift. You gonna be afternoons. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I was so upset. Like, I was like, what am I gonna do? I really want to get this back going. What am I gonna do? And then they hit us with them schedules, and I'll be off at 6 o'clock. I was like, sweet. So that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. I'm not done yet. But yeah, I appreciate you. I'm gonna close this out in a little bit, but
Hey, I
thank
appreciate it. I'm always rocking with you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll be talking to you.
All right. And to everybody else that's viewing, peace out. Stay tapped in with Vibing in the D.
That's what's up. All right.
All right.
Later.
Later.
All right, y'all. Looky here. Let me tell ya. Let me tell ya. I thank everybody for tuning in tonight. This, like I said, it's gonna be every Friday. Who do I have next week? Who do I have next week? Let me check. I ain't gonna tell y'all. I don't do that no more. I don't do that. I have so and so next week because I learned my lesson on that. So we're not doing that no more. But if you are keeping up with Vibin in the D on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you will see who's going to be on the show. Like I said, every Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your family, and tell everybody else. And we're gonna get this rolling. We're gonna get this season 4 popping. So I'm hoping. What's up, Eagle JT? Oh, that's my bro. Hey, what it do? So yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited, and I hope everybody that I reached out to responds, and they're like, "What date you got?" There are going to be some shows that are pre-recorded again, but I will be in the chat. I'll be in the chat if I'm not, over in Zimbabwe or something of that nature, or me and my family on a cruise in Dubai. I will be in the chat, and we can have fun with that. So. Robin be cracking me up with that. But yeah, if you missed any of this, go ahead and check it out from the beginning. Leave some comments, give it a thumbs up so we can get this algorithm going. As long as I'm in there, it's like swimwear. So I don't know what that means. Anyway, everybody have a great night, and I'll see you next Friday. But even before then, don't forget that the after work experience, will be Monday through Thursday, not Monday through Friday anymore, because Friday is for Vibing in the D. So I will see everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. And everybody have a great night and a great weekend. Peace.
Talking to the diamonds of Detroit today. Vibing in the D with Lily. Talking to the diamonds of Detroit today. Vibing in the D
with Lily.